A lot of your parents' old money tips don't really apply in today's world. Times have changed. But the good news? You don't need an economics degree to take control of your money. You can pay off debt, start investing, and even grow your wealth to over $1 million by keeping things simple. The catch? You need to avoid 7 common money mistakes that can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's dive into mistake number 1. Relying on willpower instead of automation. Believe it or not, there are articles that suggest things like splitting your 2-ply toilet paper or taking cold showers to save money. Seriously? That's not the life I want, and I bet you don't either. Saving money doesn't have to be miserable or full of confusing advice. One of the worst pieces of advice is to cut back. Cut back on your lattes, jeans, car, vacations. And maybe when you're 95, you'll get to enjoy your money. That's ridiculous. Sure, you've probably seen the charts, skip coffee every day, and save thousands over the years. But here's why that doesn't work. Because it requires willpower, and we don't have unlimited amounts of it. You'll start off motivated, sure. But eventually, making small sacrifices every day wears you down. And guess what? Most people don't actually invest those small savings anyway. So instead of relying on willpower, automate it. Automate your savings, your investing, and your bill payments. Take willpower out of the equation. Mistake number 2. Buying more house than you can afford. Your house is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. That's why it's crucial to run the numbers before jumping in. Ideally, your monthly housing costs should be no more than 28% of your gross income. And remember, that includes everything: mortgage, property taxes, maintenance, utilities, and more. Let's say you're thinking of buying a house for $600,000. It seems doable, right? But when you add up the real costs, you could be overstretching your budget and setting yourself up for financial stress. Instead of going all in on a pricier home, consider investing the difference. It could make you a millionaire in the long run. Mistake number 3. Thinking you can wait to invest. One of the biggest mistakes people make is delaying investing. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Whether you're 25 or 45, the best time to start investing is right now. Even $50 a month can make a big difference over time. Use an online compound interest calculator and play around with the numbers. You'll see how powerful it is to start investing today. Mistake number 4. Paying a percentage to a financial advisor. If you're working with a financial advisor, make sure you know how they're being paid. Paying a 1% fee may sound small, but over time, that fee can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Instead, look for advisors who charge flat fees or low percentages, so more of your money stays with you. Imagine this. What's the big deal with a percentage? Most people don't even know what it means. You see 1% on paper and think, no biggie. But what does a 1% advisory fee actually mean? It's a lot more than you might think. That little 1% adds up to huge amounts over time. But here's something a lot of folks don't realize. There are awesome financial advisors out there who charge hourly or flat fees instead. Honestly, I believe most people can manage their own money just fine. However, if you do want someone to look over your finances, go for it. Just make sure they're a fiduciary. That means they're legally bound to act in your best interest. Oh, and avoid that percentage-based fee. Stick with hourly or flat. Here's mistake number 5. Stop getting bogged down by the details that don't actually matter. Seriously, just stop. Overcomplicating things is a trap. In your finances, aim for simplicity. That's why I keep things basic. I only use a couple of credit cards, have a few long-standing bank accounts, and I stick to straightforward investments. I do it every single month, consistently. That's it. No fuss. Here's the thing. Most of us waste time asking overly specific questions as a form of procrastination. We think, if I don't have everything figured out perfectly, I can't start. Wrong. It's way more important to get started than to be an expert. I'd rather get 85% of it right and move on with my life than aim for perfection and get stuck. Once your money system is good enough, let it run. Go live your life. You don't need to track every single grocery store item. Just make sure you're set up to track the big variable expenses, like eating out or travel. If you get those under control, the rest takes care of itself. Now, let's talk about a common trap. Subscriptions. Stop paying for stuff you don't even use. Cancel them. It's money down the drain. Speaking of waste, here's mistake number 6. Letting debt pile up. I use credit cards all the time, but guess what? I pay them off in full every month. It's all about the perks. Cashback, points, purchase protection, you name it. But if you're not paying it off each month, you're in trouble. It's like financial quicksand. If you're only paying the minimums, it takes forever to get rid of that debt. And the more debt you carry, the less you have to save or spend on the things you enjoy. It's exhausting. You're basically walking around with a 200-pound weight on your back. Quick stat for you. As of early 2024, the average American household carries about $8,000 in credit card debt. And if you're only paying the minimum, with a 28% APR, it'll take years to pay off, and you'll pay a ton in interest. That's money wasted. But it gets worse. Credit card debt doesn't just hurt today. It kills your future growth, too. All that money you're sinking into debt could have been invested. Imagine what that cash could grow into over time if you put it to work. It's a double whammy. Debt keeps you stuck, and you miss out on future gains. So, what's the solution? Simple. Pay off your credit card in full every month. Don't carry a balance. If you can't afford it, don't charge it. And if you've already got debt, find a way to make extra payments. Even an extra $100 a month can make a huge difference in how fast you pay it off and how much interest you avoid. Mistake number 7. Overspending on a car. Let's be real. We've all been tempted by shiny new cars. But seriously, why do new parents always feel the need to buy a massive SUV? You've got one kid, and suddenly you need 7 seats for who exactly? The grandparents who visit once a year? Here's the problem. People buy based on the monthly payment. That's a huge mistake. Don't let the low monthly payment fool you. There are so many hidden costs. Insurance, gas, maintenance. That affordable car could end up costing you a ton more. Here's a fun stat. The average car payment today is around $735 a month. But I've talked to people with car payments well over $2,000. It's mind-blowing. And you know what happens when the loan is paid off? Most people just trade the car in for another one. They never enjoy the benefit of being payment-free. Once your car's paid off, keep it for as long as you can. That's where the magic happens. Those are the years when your car is practically free, and all the money you save can go toward investments or other financial goals. So, how do you know if you can actually afford that car? Easy. Run the numbers. Look at your total budget, including insurance, gas, and maintenance, and make sure it fits into your financial plan. If it's going to blow your budget, it's time to rethink. All right, let me know in the comments, which of these money mistakes have you made, and what are you doing now to fix them? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more tips.